Bush Dynasty, business scandals, wartime ties, and the road to power. Follow the money. That's the rule. And when you follow the Bush family money far enough back, it leads to seized bank accounts during World War II and the truth many wish they shouldn't have known. When most people hear the name Bush, they think of two presidents, a Texas ranch, 9/11 speeches, Iraq, and Supreme Court drama in 2000. They see a polished American dynasty of senators, governors, CIA directors, and board members. A political family that seemed to move through power like it was inherited property. But before the White House, there was Wall Street. And before Texas Oil, there was a bank that the U.S. government shut down under the Trading with the Enemy Act in 1942. Let's talk facts. In October 1942, federal authorities seized the assets of Union Banking Corporation, UBC, in New York. The seizure was executed under wartime legislation designed to block financial ties to hostile foreign interests. Among the directors of that bank was Prescott Bush, grandfather of President George W. Bush and father of President George H.W. Bush. Government records confirm that UBC acted as a U.S. holding company connected to the business interests of Fritz Thyssen, a German industrialist who had financially supported the infamous regime that took power in Germany in 1933. Thyssen later acknowledged his early financial backing of that movement in his own memoir. U.S. investigators concluded that Union Banking Corporation was effectively managing assets tied to those interests, while the United States was at war. Prescott Bush was never charged with a crime. There is no record of him being prosecuted or convicted, but the bank where he served as a director had its assets confiscated by the federal government. After the war, the U.S. government released the seized assets back to American shareholders. Prescott Bush went on not only to survive the scandal, but to thrive. By 1952, he was elected to the U.S. Senate from Connecticut. He served on the Senate Banking and Currency Committee. He became a respected Republican figure. The controversy faded into footnotes, and the family's ascent continued. His son, George H.W. Bush, built an oil business in Texas, served as UN ambassador, CIA director, vice president, and ultimately became the 41st president of the United States. His grandson, George W. Bush, now became the 43rd president after the contested 2000 election that ended in a 5-4 Supreme Court decision in Bush versus Gore, halting the Florida recount. The dynasty endured through Watergate-era CIA turbulence, Iran-Contra pardon issued in December 1992, and one of the most controversial elections in modern American history. Financially, the family built significant wealth through oil ventures, private equity, speaking fees, book deals, and legacy board positions. Estimates of the broader Bush family wealth vary, but public disclosures suggest combined holdings in the hundreds of millions, making them deeply entrenched elites with generational access to networks that matter. And here's the uncomfortable part. A bank connected to wartime enemy-linked assets was seized by the U.S. government. One of its directors later became the patriarch of a presidential dynasty. That history is documented, though rarely discussed. Does that mean the presidency was built on that money? That's a claim historians debate. But what is undeniable is this. A scandal that could have ended a political career instead became a forgotten chapter, and the family rose higher than almost any in American history. Here's a quick question. When a family of presidents was groomed on the money linked with the enemy's interests, can they be considered loyal to their own country?